Beautiful, beautiful song right there. Big collaboration between Alice Kimanzi and Christine Mbogo. I mean, what a powerhouse, what a power-packed, song. And I know that you've been blessed by it so much. But it is 35 minutes past 7, the perfect time for us to now peruse the newspapers. Karibuni sana. My name is Beatrice Nudi.
Indeed, my name is George Gishuru. Karibu sana to the newspaper review. Yeah. And I start off with the Daily Nation. And it's, of course, the statement that was issued by the president some few days ago about how corrupt, this National Assembly is.
Yeah, Parliament and Judiciary.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, and so yesterday there was a sitting in Parliament. You can imagine. They were breathing fire.
They were angry.
They were angry. Exactly. I remember I was watching a clip. One of the MPs said after that meeting with the president and the former prime minister, when he went back home, the wife was looking at him in some weird, with a very weird look. And so he was explaining that the wife was asking him whether he has another family somewhere or he has another, what is it called? Mpango wa kando.
Yeah.
Another woman that you have placed somewhere. So so he was like, I had to, so he asked, why are you accusing me? And the wife told him, I heard the president said, you are being paid, you are being given 10 million shillings. I have never seen that money in this house. Anyway, let's look at the Daily Nation. And they are saying MP's bribery scandal crisis.
Yes.
So action, president tasks the multi-agency team to fight corruption and economic crimes. And so president forms multi-agency team on war against corruption. Then there is a sabotage. Furious MPs cripple House business and paralyze committees in show of defiance. Lawmakers threaten speakers with no confidence votes to force them to act. And rising calls for the president to submit evidence to charge rogue MPs. And MPs now vow to exercise their power on budget cuts to hit back at the executive as a way of retaliating. Anyway, that story is covered extensively on pages 4 and 5 inside the Daily Nation. And still on the front page of the Nation, senators vote on trial of Kericho governor. So 10 months after the Senate abruptly terminated impeachment proceedings against him on a technicality, Kericho governor Eric Motai will again face senators today when graft charges brought against him by the county assembly are read out to the House. Kericho MCAs for the second time voted for to impeach the county boss on August 15th. What's happening in Kericho? It's covered on page number 7. And then Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu has been accused of usurping powers reserved for the CJ in assigning judges to hear the case challenging the impeachment of then Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. And then nearly half of Kenyan mobile phone owners received an extortionist scam call or text message last year, according to a World Bank survey. Kenya ranks second most targeted in sub-Saharan Africa, right? And how and why hundreds of graduate teachers are barred from junior school jobs. It's on page 10. And then finally, how scramble for Harambee Stars match tickets crashed online portal. I was also trying to access, but then nikaingia ikanipatia blank.
Yeah, and I can imagine the pressure.
The pressure.
Ni online.
Ni online only. But then again, the company that is in charge of the same releasing a statement saying there were some technicalities and I don't know what had been fed into the system. And they were actually bemoaning the fact that genuine fans were not able to purchase the tickets. But then they said they were working to ensure that they are rectifying the same, to ensure genuine fans are able to grab those very hot, hot cake selling tickets. And the CAF, head of TV and communications, Lux September, believes that Kenya will benefit more from hosting the 2024 African Nations Championship if they create a lasting legacy from staging the event. And so all roads on Friday evening will be leading to the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, for that huge quarter-final match between Kenya and Madagascar.
Amazing. All right, let's continue now looking at the Standard, Kenya's bold newspaper. The top story here, or rather the top highlight, is log in their eyes. So, who's more corrupt? Of course, that's the conversation. And I see Ruto's tirade against MPs has been branded sheer hypocrisy. The executives wrote dwarfs the spec in parliament. The dodgy tenders at KEMSA to substandard fertilizer crippling farmers to hush oil import deals. The scandals trail his administration like a shadow. Even his allies' handouts at churches and stadiums clocked as generosity. Reek of patronage politics. For many Kenyans, the president has squandered the chance to make corruption a high-risk venture as promised. Instead, his finger-pointing has exposed a government gorging on the vice it condemns, and all this time being urged on by his bosom friend, Raila Odinga. Boy, that's why it's called the Kenya's bold newspaper. Clearly, they are quite bold. You wanasema, don't remove the speck in another person's eye. And there's a log in your eye.
There's a huge log.
Big one.
Yeah, big one. But you cannot
log.
see your own log.
You cannot see it.
Yeah.
Well, so that is the top story on the Standard. Of course, that is it's brewing a lot of conversation, even amid the Harambee Stars vibe. You know, this is a conversation that is coming up. But moving on, I see the Enterprise newspaper saying EAC tariff waivers tilt trade balance. More on the Enterprise pullout, youth snapping their way out of unemployment. This is quite interesting. Page 3 has covered that story. And lastly, why small businesses should consider real estate. That is a story covered on page 6. I feel that's one of the conversations we need to have on financial fitness one of these fine days to understand more about investing in real estate. But lastly, I'm seeing a good story here. Tanzania races to complete 14 billion shilling stadium ahead of 2027 AFCON. And there's a very beautiful picture right there showing that the progress is being made very well. So that's it for the Standard.
Right. Quickly, just looking at what the Business Daily has in as far as the business news are concerned this morning. KCB opens talks to acquire 40% stake in Ethiopia Bank. Kenyan lender looks to expand regional footprint. Addis Ababa opened door to foreign banks in December. And Treasury fails to send cash to counties in July. And of course, I see here Ruto's bribery claims rattle senators as well. So you can read that in the Business Daily. And Family Bank Kenya has set a target to raise about 6.2 billion shillings through an ongoing private placement to support growth of its business. And administrators mull revival of key trans-century unit, and why Treasury targets 50 billion shillings from bond tap sale. And Nderito Mureithi, the KRA board chair, the Kenya Housing Survey and the analytical report on ICT contain gems for the discerning decision maker. It's on page 9, so you can read that.
All right, I think we're done with the newspaper review. Just touch and go on the highlights. Hope you've gotten to, decide on which newspaper you're going to grab. But also tune into Hope FM. We have news updates at the top of every hour. And right here at Hope TV, Dira and News Watch, 7 p.m., 9 p.m. We are going to be bringing the news as they come. So now let's have a look at the video of the day.